Kleptocracy, unfunded mandates. It's like a selective tax on a particular class of people or type of things. The unfunded mandate that I will talk about, although there's thousands of them, is one where a few years ago the Pennsylvania state legislatures decided to pass this thing to protect clean water, and they never do it for a bad reason, they always do it for a good sounding reason, to force everybody who's not on a public sewer system to have their septic tanks pumped every 2 years and inspected. Now, this is going to be a huge cost and unnecessary to hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people across Pennsylvania. And it's going to have a limited benefit, and there's already laws to take care of if there's a bad situation where, you know, your neighbor's thing is it ain't going to fix, and if they're not going to fix it, there are complaint-based laws to take care of that, to take care of the actual pollution. But a good working septic tank can run for decades without having to be messed. You can get a little bit of Rid-X, dump it in, you're good to go. But the unfunded mandates are a wonderful tool for the politicians because they go, we didn't raise no taxes, but to comply with the rules they invented, all of a sudden it cost you $8,000 more that year because they said, oh, look, the little stuff puked out at the side of the hill. Even if you live in the middle of nowhere, and if it pukes down and then goes down and it's got 400 yards to go before it gets to the first stream. And so as far as environmental concerns, they don't exist. But politicians don't give a crap about reality. They do care about your crap, apparently. But the unfunded mandates are a way to be totally unaccountable for the cost of what they do. And they're not liable to the cost that they impose on other people. And a large part of these, the means, like with so many other things, that the means, the process of way back when they wanted to clean up the Chesapeake Bay, and I like the idea of having clean water and stuff like that. There's other means to do it, but now their means is it ends to itself. You can't argue with our sewage enforcement plans because, well, actually there's lots of ways to do it, and it doesn't need to be done that way, but you're not going to get it through their thick skulls. Protect property rights. If my effluent runs into the neighbor's property, I have trespassed upon their property, and they certainly have a measurable cause. It's like, your crap's here in my yard and it shouldn't be there, and he has cause to drag me to court and clunk me over the head with whatever if I'm unwilling to make good on his situation or do such a bad job of it it doesn't work anyways. So, you know, try and work it out if you can first, great. If not, well, then you can call government to adjudicate disputes, but not to create this whole bureaucracy of parasites coming in and eating us out of our substance. Jefferson said something about that in the Declaration of Independence. I'm just trying to skim through my notes on this because I could blather on for hours. The fundamental point is that unfunded mandates are a hidden tax. It's a way for politicians to take your property rights away from you. It's a form of theft. In Pennsylvania, the state constitution, they're supposed to protect life, liberty, property, and reputation. Right before they start with any of the amendments, it's right in there to protect my property. But if they can just arbitrarily come onto my yard and look for problems that aren't problems and poke around, and I need their permission to use my property. Hey, if I need their permission, maybe it's not my property. You know, I can't jump in your car without your permission and take it off. I'm a thief if I do that. And, you know, if you say, okay, here, Tom, here's a key, go ahead, that's one thing. But if I can just I got a certificate, I can take your car at any time. Tough shit. It's the law. Then the law is violating its legitimate functions. And it's protecting kleptocrats when legitimate law is, in a large part, to protect us from the kleptocrats. Legitimate law is to protect us from the kleptocrats. It's not to protect the kleptocrats from us. It's to protect us from them. We the people created governments and we can throw them out. They don't like to know that. If you see some poor SOB, you're in a jury, and they get drug in front of I'm now 2 years from now, 3 years from now, and they're dragging me in front of the courts there, and it's like, Martin, you wouldn't let anybody inspect your septic tank. I know, sir, it's full of shit. I don't need somebody to tell me that. Martin, you need to have it, and we're fining you $25 a day for the last 2 years, so you own $1 bazillion of penalties and fines because the government has suffered horribly because we didn't get to look at your shit. Actually, the government is not a victim. You're on a jury, you can say, did this guy actually harm somebody else's property? Then probably he should be prosecuted. If he's not harming anybody else, and it looks like the law is stupid, let him go home. Fully informed juries. This is one of our fundamental means to protect us from an overarching government, which is what we have. Again, try to get that thought through our head that read the Bill of Rights. Before you read any of the amendments, to keep the government off my back, you have a right to freedom of speech, religion, press, assembly, redress. You have a right to self-defense. You have a right not to quarter the troops. To keep the government off your back, to keep the government off their back. This is a fundamental thing. Protect us from the government. Protect us from all kinds of taxes and unfunded mandates and all this garbage. But if we're ignorant, they'll do whatever they damn well please. Until we're totally bankrupt, which, another issue. Maybe we're there now. Anyways, your ignorance is not a virtue. Your apathy will not protect you. Learn about fully informed juries. Learn about what the Constitution is about, the underlying intent to protecting the rights of all people equally, granting special favors to none. Bastiat, brilliant man. I'm sure he read the Declaration quite a few times because he was in France in 1740, 1750. An actually decent legislator. Read the law that he wrote. And I don't see any other things. Maybe I'll just do another cut on this later. Anyways, unfunded mandates are a hidden tax. If you have to pay them, they are a tax. If the government mandates you to pay something, it is a tax. Think of it as nothing but. Have a nice day.